Okay, prepare to get the lowdown on some really sweet spots in Acadia National Park that I visited, and enjoy my video. As you can see from this map, you're coming on to Mount Desert Island and going to Acadia from the northwest. Most of the attractions in the park are on the east side of the island, and we visited a whole bunch of areas over there. Including we went to Echo Lake Beach and we did a small hike over there to Beach Cliff. We also visited Jordan Pond and hiked up to the South Bubble. Um, we went to the gardens, which was pretty much just a random shuttle stop for us. We also went to the Beehive and to Sand Beach. That was a really great area. And we went to Otter Point, Otter Cliff, the Thunder Hole, and all that, seeing the beautiful coastline of Acadia. And the whole time we stayed at Blackwoods Campground. Really, the first area that we visited in Acadia was Echo Lake Beach. This is a random little video from my sports action camera that died and recently came back to life out of nowhere. Anyway, the beach was really cute. There were quite a few people there. On the left side, you can see a bit of what is Beach Cliff. We hiked up there. It's a great area. You had a view from every side, really. So you see that one, and there's also this one. You can see there's the beach down there, looking all cute. After we finished up in the Echo Lake area, we went to Blackwoods Campground, set up camp, and then we headed over to the Otter Cliff area. So we drove to the Fabry picnic area to avoid getting on the one-way loop road. There are a couple areas that you definitely need to see over here, which would be the Thunder Hole and Otter Cliff. You can walk all over the rocks and stuff too. You just gotta be careful because they can be slippery. I would suggest wearing closed-toed shoes for that. The area is accessible from Ocean Path, which is a trail that's over 4 miles that goes from Otter Point to Sand Beach. You don't have to walk the whole way though to see all the points. You could just park at Otter Cliff and at some other point go to the Sand Beach area and park there. That way you don't have to walk the whole way if you're not into that. This little shot right here is Thunder Hole. We came when it was not very thundery, I guess you could say, but if you look online, look up some videos, you'll see that there are times where there's a lot more water going on in there. Now our next stop ended up being the Beehive. And now this, when we were looking at trails and whatnot in Acadia, what we were going to go see, there were two that really stuck out to me, and that was the Beehive and also the Precipice Trail. Now the Precipice is closed during most of the summer, so we couldn't go on that one. But I gotta say, the Beehive did not disappoint. It was really steep going up, and there are all these exposed ledges and whatnot, as you can see from some of these pictures. And then when I came down from the Beehive was actually the moment in time where I was inspired to start making a vlog. Well, I'm at Acadia National Park in Maine. We just finished hiking the Beehive Trail, which is the one that goes all the way up there, all the way to the top. It's a very steep hike. I wouldn't advise it for young children. I saw a few people bring up their little kids there, and honestly I think they're a little bit crazy. And then right after that we just came down here over to Sand Beach, which is pretty much connected by a parking lot right to the Bull Trail, which leads up to the Beehive. Here it's very beautiful. I imagine the water is very cold, but if you can believe it, there's people in there. So that right there really was the first video that I ever recorded with the intent of putting it online in a vlog. So, I don't know, it's kind of nifty or whatever. Anyhow, even if you don't go up the Beehive, you still gotta come over to this area because Sand Beach is really nice. Even if you're not getting in the water or whatever, it's really great spot to check out. Moving right on along, we ended up at Jordan Pond, going around the Jordan Pond path, and that's a little bit over a 3 mile trail that goes just around Jordan Pond. Pretty flat, pretty peaceful. Somehow, this turned into us taking a hike up to the South Bubble. Now, this is from the top of South Bubble. We came up from the Jordan Pond path, which we started from the Jordan House, straight across the lake. Over there, they've got a restaurant and like the biggest gift shop in the park. So we walked all the way around, and we came up on the Bubbles Divide Trail, which then split off up to the South Bubble. You could keep going and go up the North Bubble instead, but we did not actually go there, only to South. Coming down was quite steep. I mean, we could have just gone down the way that we came, but as the kids say, YOLO. So you could see all these exposed cliffs here. This trail was kind of similar to the Beehive Trail, as in that there were lots of cliffs and rocks to climb down. Although thousands of people take trails like these all the time, it's always important to remember that something could always happen. So you should have some kind of first aid with you, an emergency plan, wear proper shoes, and all that. This trail itself is not very remote. There were some people around which would have helped out if an emergency were ever to happen. This spot here was a bit difficult for me to get down because that area there is pretty close to my height. You kind of just had to jump down that. This is back towards the bottom, and this area looks pretty similar to how it looked going up the Bubbles Divide Trail, so it wasn't all that hard. The rocks are just kind of annoying.
I'm back at the campsite now. We're staying at Blackwoods Campground inside the park. It's pretty nice here. The campsites are pretty big. Has a picnic table, plenty of space for a tent, lots of trees. Very good for hammocking. One drawback is that the up there there's a rock that kind of prevents you from driving up any farther, so your vehicle is kind of stuck kind of far back, but it doesn't really make a difference. Overall, I'd say Acadia is beautiful. It kind of has a little bit of everything. It has swimming in lakes and ponds, as well as on the ocean. It's great for kayaks and whatnot. There's lots of areas that have large enough bodies of water to get out there, including lots of ponds that are in throughout pretty much the whole area. Tons of hiking trails everywhere. The trails, almost every trail that we went on had rocks that you had to scramble over at some point. Some of them were steep, like the Beehive, or when we came down from the bubbles, but some of them were were not so bad too. We didn't go really on any of the easy trails, so I couldn't say too much about those, but there are some there. But if you're looking for a challenging hike, this is a good place for it. I don't believe that there is much in the lines of very long hikes or backwoods camping, so for backpackers it might not be as fun of a stop. There's a great shuttle system that is pretty convenient as long as you know where you're going and have a bit of a plan. You can even take it into a couple of the towns, including Bar Harbor, and just pal around in there. There's lots of restaurants and shops there. The shuttles, they can practically get you anywhere around. There's like 7 different ones, I believe. There's one that's just within some spots in Bar Harbor, plus ones that go to all of the kind of outer campgrounds. One thing that's kind of different about Acadia is that as opposed to just driving into a national park and just doing your thing when you drive into Acadia, you kind of drive into other towns and stuff that are not part of the national parks service as well. So you kind of drive in and out of Acadia.
In summary, you just gotta go to Acadia. Everything that you've seen in this video, we did in only 2 days, and we did not do nearly as much stuff as there is to do there. So just next time you're in the Northeast, go to Acadia. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe and comment, as well as check out my blog at treesandtravels.blogspot.com. Enjoy your travels.